From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for October 5th, 2016. In just a moment, we'll be taking a look at the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. But first, I want to recap a couple of the suggestions made over the past few days. Starting here on the USD CAD, the dollar CAD, we have been buying this currency pair for a couple of days. You look down at the very bottom of the chart, you see the buy order down there, right around the 1.3105 level. The 3105 level happens to sit down here closer to the yellow shaded area at the top of the chart. You can see very top of the chart, there's a blue box. Inside that blue box, a pink, yellow, orange, and green shaded area. We bought it on a dip back down to the yellow shaded area, and clearly over the past couple of days this has been moving higher. Let's zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily. You can see buying here into the yellow shaded area a few days ago and capturing profit on the way up. Of course, the current target is the green shaded area at the top of the chart. That's closer to 32.35, 1.3265, the green shaded area, and we can clearly see why if you look back to the left hand side of the chart. So for the day today, if you are not in the buy from the yellow zone and holding profit, the first thing that I would look for if you're looking to go long is a dip back to the orange shaded area. Our risk at this point is that it pushes under the orange shaded area. So I have moved my hard stop loss just underneath the orange zone, because if it breaks back underneath 3150, I probably want to capture as much profit on the trade as possible. So my hard stop loss sitting right at the 3145 level, just under the orange zone. If it heads to the green zone, I'll capture more profit. If it turns around and goes back down on data today, then we'll look to get out of the trade. Again, if you're looking to get into it, either a dip to the orange zone or maybe the rally and resistance at the green shaded area could be what you're looking for on the US CAD today. Moving on over to the AUD USD, this currency pair also we have been trading over the past few days. To look at the very bottom of the chart, you can see 76.75 as the sell order, currently sitting 54 pips of profit. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily. Of course, we took the sell at the blue shaded area all the way at the top of the trend and top of the chart. So the sell 76.75 up there was the bottom of the blue shaded area. The market now clearly pushing all the way back down towards the pink zone into the 7600 level. Of course, 7600 clearly a profit target. That's about 75 pips from our entry at the blue shaded area. Again, I've removed the trade manager. I've moved my stop loss just above the purple zone. So for the day today, we want to see it hold under the purple zone, head back to the pink shaded area, and of course it would be beneficial if it would break underneath the 75.85 level, the pink zone, and continue its bearish move. But that's the risk right now, is that it breaks back above the purple shaded area. So stop loss is just above there now because we don't want it to get back above the purple shaded area. But the sell from the blue zone clearly in the profit, and we're capturing it on the way down. Hopefully we'll see the breakout under the pink zone today. Let's move on over to the NZD USD. This one also we have been in the short for quite a while now. 72.80 is our short, currently sitting about 97. We've seen a little bit more than 100 pips on the trade. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times on the daily. The market was holding underneath the orange shaded area a couple of days ago. You can see 72.80, 72.95, the orange shaded area underneath the blue trend line. So we took the sell into the orange shaded area, and the risk, of course, at that point was that it broke above the orange zone. And clearly, when it hit the green zone, we closed some profit. When it hit the blue zone, we closed some more profit. It's been a phenomenal trade on the way down. At this point, the risk is a break back above. Sorry about this. The risk is a break back above the green shaded area. So we want it to stay under the green zone to continue the bearish move. We don't want it to get back above the green shaded area. Right now we're finding support at the blue shaded area, which is at 71.80, 71.55. And our hope is that we'll see the breakdown today underneath 71.50 and the continuation of the downtrend for the New Zealand dollar. Okay, let's move on over to the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. First off, it's important for me to note it is about 8 a.m. Eastern US time right now at the recording of this video, and at 8:15, about 10 minutes from now or so, we have ADP non-farm employment change. At 8:30, we have Canadian trade balance. At 10 a.m., we have ISM non-manufacturing PMI out of the U.S. At 10:30, we have crude oil inventory. So between now and 10:30 a.m., we have a good bit of news that could cause changes in all of this outlook. But we'll look at it as it stands now and look at some potential as it goes through the day today. Of course, We have been in an uptrend along the red trend line. We've been underneath that for the past several weeks. Probably most important, we're going to zoom in on this blue box, top right-hand corner of the chart. Let's zoom in on like this, and you can see the green shaded area at the bottom, 111.35.20. The pink shaded area, 111.90, 111.70. The yellow shaded area, 112.15 up to 112.30. The orange shaded area, 112.60 up to 112.80. Clearly, we have been bouncing around in here for several weeks now, going all the way back into August. Yesterday's volatility on some ECB comments about quantitative easing caused some significant volatility on the currency pair. And, of course, today's data out of the U.S. could cause some changes here on this currency pair as well. So we're going to watch this. If we get negative news out of the U.S., if it's significantly negative, we see ADP non-farm employment change much lower than expected. We see ISM not matching the forecast, we could see quite a bit of a change here. If it's negative news for the U.S., we look for the final breakout above the yellow zone, which is, again, 112.30, top of the yellow zone, and we'll look to target the orange zone. And, of course, if it breaks the orange zone, everything changes, and we look for it to go much higher, probably all the way back up here into the 113. So that's the upside. Right now, we're at resistance under the yellow zone. I don't think I would buy it right now under the yellow zone. Clearly, for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now, it's found resistance underneath there, and I don't think buying underneath resistance is ever a good idea. Right now, closest support that I could see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is the 7th day, and really, if you go back even over here, we've seen support on top of the pink shade area. So that is our closest support at the 111.90 level. And if the market goes significantly positive for the U.S., if it's all good news for the U.S., we look for the breakdown of the pink zone and for the market to head down to the green shaded area at the bottom of our little box or range. And if it can ever break underneath the green zone, 111.20, which it hasn't done since August, we'll look for it to go lower, back down into the 110. So we know where our main key areas of decision are. We just have to see what the news, how the news affects the currency pair. Let's take it on down to the 4-hour time frame. Doesn't change it at all, just gives us a little bit more detail about each of those shaded areas. We saw yesterday's volatility on the ECB comments about their quantitative easing. It caused the market to rally, came back down, then went back up to the yellow zone. Clearly, though, yellow zone, 112.30 is a significant decision point for this currency pair because even on that volatility, didn't break 112.30. If it can, then we're looking for it to go higher. If it's positive news for the U.S., resistance here sends it back down to the pink zone. Finally, a clear open and close under the pink zone will likely see this go lower. So watch the news, see if it's positive or negative for the U.S., and that should give you a direction to trade. Positive for the U.S. sends this lower. Negative for the U.S. sends this back higher again for the euro dollar today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.